So guys, we all know the company Microsoft. We all want to work for it, intern in it, and we use the applications also. Previously, in like 2-3 days earlier, also it reached a mark of $3 trillion, and its stock is also booming in the US index. So we welcome you, Amit Joshi sir. So he has interned in Microsoft first, then he was also selected in the top 10 list of Microsoft for interning, and he was working with the top software engineers. Then he was doing an SDA internship then in 2021. Now he's working full time with Microsoft as an SDE, like a software developer. It's everyone's dream company. And he has also won the Smart Indian Hackathon, where he had made the device to check the quality of water in 2020, and that was his second year, maybe. That was second year. So guys, we have to learn a lot from him.
Okay, so Tanay already introduced me, so I'll just give a brief background. So I come from a defense background. So like you have this special cohort, ITM and Let's Upgrade. So I come from a college which is having this special college plus defense background. So I come from AIT, which stands for Army Institute of Technology. So where all the kids are army brats. So my father was also in army. He's retired now. So I'm an army brat. So how many of you are flying out of Maharashtra, like who is staying, like, coming here? And okay, so similarly in our college also, like that college is in Pune, but 90% crowd is from people who are outside from Maharashtra. So this is how, like, my background is also very diverse. I started my school in Pune, and then my father shifted to Mahu, which is my native place also. And then I did my schooling from Army Public School Mahu, which is again a defense institute. And then I joined AIT, which is Army Institute of Technology. So a lot of defense upbringing in my background and all. And then coming to the college, so to start with, I'll tell you that my initial, for me, it was not that I'll get into some engineering college, I'll clear JEE and I'll get to Microsoft. So it's a dream company, but it was not like this was my goal or aim from my first year and something like that. So my goal was to join army, some defense, either Air Force, Indian Army, something like that. But there also in my class 12, somehow because of some reasons, because of some medical, they have very strict medical checks and something like that. I was not able to make it, and then I joined engineering, because after engineering you'll get some more opportunities to attempt for this army related entries. But in my third year, second year, all this hackathons and other things happened, and then my interest grew in this technology field, and this is how, like, I'll tell more about how I like landed into Microsoft and all. But yeah, this is a brief background, like how all this thing started. Cool. So, like, I was told that there is no fixed agenda for this talk and all. So I'll not tell you about, okay, these are some 10 DSA questions which you will do and you will land into Microsoft. Okay, so like 10 is whatever number is, you can take the number. Okay, there's 300 cheat sheet or something like that. I'll talk more about my hackathons, that journey, how I landed the internship, and mostly around my internship tenure, because that is something very interesting, and that is how, like, when you will join any tech company or something like that, how imposter syndrome hits you and you start thinking about your abilities, you know things or not, or kaise you will manage all these things. So I'll talk more around that. So my branch was not CSE or IT. I was from this core branch was electronics and telecommunication. So I did my majors from that. And when I was in my first year, I was interested in this fields like IoT वगैरह में जितने भी कुछ projects होते हैं. My SH project was in a hardware category, so that was an IoT project. So I started with that. In my second year, I was doing some more IoT projects and all. And then this COVID thing happened, so I was able to spend 2 years in college, and after this, we moved back to our native places and all, and this online education started. So during that time, this Engage program, so Microsoft had an Engage program back then, not sure it's there or not. So they launched it for some 20 selected college, and AIT was one of them. So as such, Microsoft doesn't come to our college for on-campus hiring, but we had very good number of alumni who are working there for Microsoft. So this is how our college was there on that list, and our college was selected for that program. Among like other colleges, like some IITs and ITs, and VIT I think was also there apart from this IITs and ITs. So this project, so it was kind of a hackathon, but there was 2 defined problems which we need to work on over a month-long program. So it was kind of a mentorship program also. So we made some teams. We were told to make teams. There was an online test, and then we applied for that test and all. Then some, I think 800 or 1,000 students were selected for that mentorship program, and you were allowed to make team of 4, 3, 2, or you can participate as individual also. So I had a team of 4. So there were the 3 friends of mine who were working with me in this project, and we had a engineer who was working as senior data scientist in Microsoft. So that was that month-long program. So idea was that you will every week they'll be sync up with that mentor, and you will be sharing your work updates with that. Okay, this is the project we are working on, and this is the progress we have made. These are the challenges, and this is how it used to be. So at that time, it was not clear that it will give us chance to intern for Microsoft or something like that. It was just okay, there is some program we got selected on all. Well, then this result came. They told we'll be selecting some best projects and all, and our team was like around, I think, AR7. We were AR7 in that project ranking. So they divided ranking in based on the team size. So if in category of 4, we were the like having 7th rank. So after that, we got to know that received a mail. Okay, there is as such no prize for winning this thing and getting this AR7, but you will get an opportunity to appear for an interview for intern opportunity at Microsoft. So this is how this intern thing came into picture. So हमें एक interview मिला था. That interview was for internship, and that was for around 45 minutes was scheduled. There was no technical round. So usually hiring happens first. There is an online this DSA round. You get to solve some aptitude questions and some DSA questions, and after that, based on that, you will get this tech interview round. There is round 1, round 2, and this is the normal procedure. But because this was through some project competition, we got a direct interview opportunity. So I remember like my interview was with one of the principal software engineers. So principal, you can consider like someone who has spent around 10 plus years in industry. So there is SD1, SD2, then there's senior software engineer, and this principal and staff level comes in. So he was like a very nice person. I still remember that interview. He was having that beach background in the interview, and I was like, okay, cool, this looks good. So he asked some linked list and DSA related question. There was one linked list question and there was one tree question. And apart from that, I was having some 2-3 couple of projects from my hackathons, and the interview went on discussing that also. So now this is like I'll share some lessons along with that, like whatever story I'm telling. So during my interview, I got to know that this projects you are working, like this is a very special cohort batch you have, like you're working on projects and all from your very first year, first semester only. So this hackathons are actually very good opportunity to show your skills as well as your like technical skills as well as your problem solving skills, because hackathons they'll give you some real world projects jahan pe you need to solve something which is actually there is a problem around that. So I had a project from Syndicate Bank. They conducted one hackathon, banking hackathon, and there we took part. The same team was there. So there we built some queue management system. ये ऐसा कुछ हमने build किया था. So interview went around that because they also don't want to see, मतलब उन्होंने देखा है कि टिक टैक तो बहुत लोग बना चुके हैं, सुडोकू और ये सब स्नेक लेडर ये वाले गेम्स बहुत लोगों के देखते हैं. तो if they see something interesting on your resume, so that is a good chance कि you will start some discussion around that. So this is another resume tip that put projects which you have actually worked on and you can discuss upon that. Don't just put something कि कुछ किया था, and like usually that is the pattern. I'm not sure, like for you that will not be true maybe, but usually people put projects जो उन्होंने कहीं से copy किए हैं या फिर जो interview के एक दिन पहले कहीं से उन्होंने download करके they just copy pasted it on their resume. This is your like digging a ditch for yourself, because वहाँ पे they start asking some questions around that project, you'll not be able to answer. But if you have actually worked on something, so that is a strong point you can discuss in that interview. So that is one thing. So try to approach projects which are very strong point and which are very good projects. So you'll get to discuss something. So interview is game of perception. So that 45 minutes is the time period where they will judge you ki how good you are technically as a team player, as a communication skills and all those things. So it doesn't matter like how many questions you have solved or whatever you have worked on. If that 45 minutes में अगर आपने वो perception build नहीं किया कि that I am a person who is fit for your software engineering role, so whatever you have learned is of no use, because they don't know कि आपने कितना grill किया या कितना hard work किया है. That 45 minutes is the time period when you will get to like tell that or share that things. So try to play that very nicely, be smart, have a like presence of mind कि okay, try to put ball in your court कि ऐसे चीजों पे discussion हो जहाँ पे like you want to share things. ऐसा नहीं हो they started asking something और वहाँ पे you are not able to answer. Okay, so in my case that thing went well. जितने मेरे projects थे hackathon से I got to discuss on that कि कैसे हमने वो problem solving skills से start किया था. We had a group of students जहाँ पे हमने वो डिस्कशंस किए थे कि कैसे इस प्रॉब्लम को बिल्ड कर सकते हैं. फिर उसमें हमें सिस्टम डिजाइन का कुछ पता नहीं था, बट वेन एवर यू आर बिल्डिंग समथिंग, इवन इफ यू आर नोइंग और नॉट नोइंग सिस्टम डिजाइन, some design will be there, because you need to put some kind of knowledge ki, okay, this is how first thing will work, this is how login will work, this is how after login what will be the flow and process. So I shared that, and also it was a good discussion which went for around 45 minutes. और उसके बाद this was only one round which happened, and after some time like we were shared the result कि okay, you are selected for internship. And so usually at the end of second year, time of December, you will have your interviews and all, and by the end of third year your internship will start. So after your interview for internship, you will have around 6 months to prepare for intern and all those things. Okay. So this internship, actually there are like different teams which are there in Microsoft. You will be allotted one of the teams. तो माई टीम वॉज पावर पेजेस. तो किसी ने पावर बी आई या ऐसे कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स का नाम सुना है माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के? पावर बी आई, पावर ऑटोमेट. ओके, सो दिस इज अ होल सेट ऑफ बिजनेस रिलेटेड टूल्स विच माइक्रोसॉफ्ट प्रोवाइड. सो जैसे ऑफिस है, सो ऑफिस इज वन प्रोडक्ट चेन फ्रॉम माइक्रोसॉफ्ट, एंड दिस पावर प्लेटफॉर्म इज वन like set of tools which they provide. So under which Power BI is very like common name. Usually people from data analytics background, they know this very well. And my product was Power Pages. So you have heard about Wix. So now like it's a low code, no code tool to build websites. So similarly, Power Pages is a similar offering for business customers. Okay, by business customers I mean like companies, B2B kind of things. Okay, so Wix is for like as an individual also I can buy a subscription of Wix and I can build that website and all. But Microsoft like deals more into this government sector and like Fortune 500 companies. So there, this compliance, security, privacy are their top concerns. तो वहाँ पे features may be like not that great. बाकी this compliance, security are important factors. So for example, that there is a law कि जो EU की companies है या EU का user data है, that should not move out of the EU region. That geo which is there, EU geographical EU region is there. So these kind of things are there, and ये इतने scale पे तभी होता है when companies like this FANG companies or product companies work on that. So usually startups or some new companies are not able to have such kind of compliance and security in place. So my team was this Power Pages, and it was a new team. Like that product I think started 3 or 2 years back. So every product goes through a different like stages. So this product was not publicly launched. So there is a like alpha version and beta version and all these things. So this product was initially in a preview stage. So the culture, usually people ask you how Microsoft is, but that is a very generic question and you cannot tell how Microsoft is. Actually very team dependent. Like for every big company this is true. So the team which you are joining is the culture you will have. So Microsoft as a brand will have certain effect and certain impact, but this team which you are joining, your manager, your colleagues who are there working with you, majorly defines the culture which you will have there. So because this team was very new, so वहाँ पे startup जैसा culture था. So this was a good thing actually. So otherwise if you join some established company, आपको वहाँ पे बड़े features पे काम करने का chance नहीं मिलता है. So if you join teams like Office or this team, so they are very established products. तो वहाँ पे अगर मैं आपसे पूछूंगा कि Word में कौन सा नया feature चाहिए, तो you will not be able to tell because that is already a very mature product. तो you will not be able to come up कि okay this is a problem with Word. So इतना डेवलप हो चुका है कि वहाँ पे इम्प्रूवमेंट करना इज वेरी मतलब बहुत बिग थिंग. नाउ विद एआई दे आर मेकिंग लाइक नंबर ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट्स. बाकी इसके पहले यू विल नॉट कम अप विद आइडिया क्योंकि अगर मुझे चांस मिला तो मैं तो वर्ड में ये वाला फीचर डाल दूंगा. दिस विल नॉट हैपन. बट व्हेन यू जॉइन अ प्रोडक्ट व्हिच इज इन वेरी इनिशियल स्टेज, देयर आर 10 नंबर ऑफ थिंग्स व्हिच यू कैन वर्क ऑन. So during my internship, one thing which happened was the project which I got as an intern. So intern is for 8 weeks. Okay. So 8 weeks it starts. It's like first 2 weeks are onboarding and all, and you get to learn about what are the processes, how to raise a PR in the code base and all, some security compliance, all these things are there. So my project was changing the data model of the product. So every product have a data model, that how data will flow, how the data will be structured for that product, and how things will be, what will be the relationship between different tables, columns, and all this data related concepts. And this data is one of the core concepts of any product. So they are like things like front end, back end, and this whole data management and data model is very core thing. So usually what is the policy around this intern project is कि जो उन्हें try करना होता है, something they want to try कि okay this is technically feasible or not, so they will provide such product to interns. बिकॉज उनकी जो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर्स है उन पे वो इतना एक्सपेरिमेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट नहीं कर सकते हैं. बट इंटर्न्स आर देयर फॉर देम ऑल्सो, इट्स अ लर्निंग अपॉर्चुनिटी. एंड फॉर द अदर लाइक फॉर एज अ प्रोडक्ट और एज अ टीम ऑल्सो, दे हैव दिस इंटर्न जो कुछ एक्सपेरिमेंट करके अगर फेल भी होता है तो फॉर देम इट्स नॉट अ लॉस और समथिंग. सो आई गॉट दिस प्रोजेक्ट और मुझे मिले थे, यूजुअली यू विल गेट वन बडी कंपनी में व्हेन यू ज्वाइन. सो बडी इज लाइक SD1 SD2 काइंड ऑफ अ 4, एंड यू विल गेट अ मेंटर हु इज लाइक अ सीनियर इंजीनियर इन द टीम. In my case, this project was like quite difficult, I would say. मतलब ये मुझे बाद में पता चला था. तो मेरे था एक buddy who was a SD1, and there was a mentor one who was a senior engineer. And there was one more mentor who was again a senior engineer. So my manager told at that time, ki, okay, this is very important project. So if you do this well, so there are high chances you'll get this PPO and all this. So this conversion happens when you first join and all these things. So this happened. So मेरे जो project का कुछ background नहीं था. Usually they have some plans around. So there is a Figma which is there. There is a XR which is there कि how this experience will be there and all. But there was nothing. तो मेरे first 2 weeks ऐसे निकल गए कि करना क्या है. They were also not knowing. So out of 8 weeks, now you imagine already 2 weeks are gone. So you only have 6 weeks जिसमें तुम्हें development भी करना है, presentation भी देना है, और tech stacks भी जो भी नए हैं वो learn करना है. And I told you like I was not from a CSE background, so मैंने ये मतलब जितना खुद से सीखा था through hackathon, that was the learning I was having. But as such कुछ मैंने CS fundamentals ऐसे पढ़े नहीं थे जो कोर्स में होते हैं usually. So then जो मेरा mentor बनता, he was also a new person in Microsoft. उसे कुछ 1 साल ही हुआ था join करे को. So he was not able to come up with some design or something like that. So then my mentor too, who was there, he jumped in the project. Keep okay, now we need to get things rolling and all. So then we started with that project, or that is the time like मैंने उस 6 weeks में around 16 to 18 hours I would say, मतलब you can reduce it to 14 maybe, but that is the time I used to give for my like project, because उसमें 6 महीने में जो 6 weeks थे उसमें मेरा एक टेक्स्ट था जो .NET वाला था, C# पे काम करना था, एंड द सेकेंड पार्ट वॉज अ डिफरेंट रेपो जहाँ पे टाइपस्क्रिप्ट और रिएक्ट यूज हो रहा था. सो 6 weeks में यू नीड टू लर्न दिस थिंग्स, उसे इम्प्लीमेंट भी करना है एंड इट शुड वर्क ऑल्सो. सो बहुत बड़ा मतलब यू विल फील लाइक कि ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. तो दिस इज वॉट आई वॉज टॉकिंग कि इम्पोस्टर सिंड्रोम जो हिट करता है, यू विल थिंक यू ओके मैंने इंटरव्यू तो क्लियर किया, आई एम हियर नाउ, तो अभी कैसे 3 टेक स्टैक है. तो यूजुअली कॉलेज में पीपल आस्क दिस क्वेश्चन कि कौन सी लैंग्वेज सीखे, ये सीखे वो सीखे. तो वहाँ पे यू विल नॉट आस्क दिस कि C# पहले सीखूं या टाइपस्क्रिप्ट पहले सीखूं. दैट इज द प्रॉब्लम यू नीड टू सॉल्व. उस प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करना है वहाँ पे. सो समहाउ देन यू गेट टू लर्न कि ओके लर्निंग इज नॉट अबाउट कि पहले मैं पूरा टाइपस्क्रिप्ट सीखूंगा, C# सीखूंगा एंड देन आई स्टार्ट वर्किंग ऑन दैट प्रोजेक्ट. इट्स लाइक ठीक है अब मुझे क्या इंप्लीमेंट करना है, ओके देयर इज अ लॉगिन पेज व्हिच आई नीड टू इंप्लीमेंट. तो टाइपस्क्रिप्ट में लॉगिन पेज को कैसे इंप्लीमेंट करना है, लर्न दैट मच ओनली. सो दिस इज हाउ एक्चुअली वर्क एज अ सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर इन कंपनी. तो वहाँ पे यू विल नॉट हैव टाइम कि पहले ठीक है आप ये 2-3 हफ्ते सीख लो, फिर आप सीख चुके होंगे, आप मास्टर कुछ ये कोर्स लिया होगा आपने, एंड देन विल स्टार्ट विद द प्रोजेक्ट. सो यू नीड टू लर्न ऑन द फ्लाई कि जैसे ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स आ रही, यू नीड टू लर्न अबाउट गूगल अबाउट देम, लर्न अबाउट देम एंड इम्प्लीमेंट इट. तो माई इंटर्नशिप वॉज लाइक दिस. सो मेरा जो मेंटर था उनका अपना प्रोजेक्ट्स भी काम भी होते थे. तो हाउ वी यूज टू वर्क कि होल डे ही विल वर्क ऑन हिज थिंग्स एंड आई विल वर्क ऑन माई थिंग्स, एंड अराउंड 12 or 10 p.m. at the night we used to sing to discuss my problems ki how what are the next steps. And around 10 to 12 or like around this time we used to start, and till 2 o'clock in the night we used to be in a call with my like I was used to be in call with my mentor. And after that I used to discuss problems ki next kya hai, kaise hona chahiye, approach karna chahiye, because I told you ki this project was not something jo planned tha कि कैसे कैसे step 1 step 2 होगी. तो हर चीज एक्सप्लोरेशन थी. ही वॉज ऑल्सो ट्राइंग थिंग्स कि ओके दिस इज हाउ यू नीड टू इम्प्लीमेंट एंड दिस इज हाउ यू नीड टू डू दिस एंड ट्राई दिस 4 थिंग्स. एंड आफ्टर लाइक ही यूज्ड टू लाइक retire from that call, and I used to then work from around 2 to morning कुछ 3-4 1-2 घंटा I used to work, and then I used to like go for sleep and have take some rest, because morning में around 8 to 10 I used to have the scrum meeting things like there's a team meeting जहाँ पे आप अपनी अपडेट शेयर करते हो कि what you worked on, what are the challenges you faced, and are there some blockers, and what we'll be working on today. So this like 4-5 hours of rest I used to get, and then we used to again get back to work. And वहाँ पे I used to share कि okay these are the things and all. So मेरा प्रोजेक्ट ऐसा था इंटरेस्टिंगली कि यूजुअली एवरी डे यू विल हैव सम अपडेट कि ओके आज ये था, ये बटन इंप्लीमेंट हो गया, ये फ्लो ऐड हो गया. बाकी वो डेटा मॉडल चेंज था, तो ऐसा यूआई साइड से कुछ दिखाने का नहीं था वहाँ पे. इट वाज मोस्टली अराउंड बैक एंड. तो ऐसा होता है कि हर वीक के एंड में इंटर्न को एक डेमो देना होता है. जो टीम्स वाइड डेमोज होते हैं उसमें यू विल प्रेजेंट योर वर्क. बाकी मैंने अपने शुरू के 6 या 7 हफ्ते तक कोई डेमो नहीं दिया था. सो इट्स लाइक अ बिग क्वेश्चन मार्क कि इंटर्न कर क्या रहा है. तो मैनेजर भी इतना इन्वॉल्व नहीं होता है, मोस्टली इट्स ऑन मेंटर कि कैसे होगा. और फिर वहाँ पे मैनेजर यूज टू सेइंग समटाइम्स कि ओके क्या चल रहा है, कुछ डेमो क्यों नहीं आ रहा है, ये सब. और एट द सेम टाइम जो मेरे कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट्स थे, सो ये जुलाई में मेरी इंटर्न थी, जुलाई टू अगस्त. सो आवर कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट्स ऑल्सो यूज टू स्टार्ट एट द सेम टाइम. तो इट वॉज लाइक यू कैन इमेजिन कि मतलब यहाँ पे इंटर्न है जिसका पीपीओ आपको पता नहीं है मिलने वाला है या नहीं है, और यहाँ कॉलेज में कंपनीज आ रही है जिसमें आप अपेयर नहीं हो पा रहे हो बिकॉज ऑफ योर इंटर्नशिप, बिकॉज दैट यूज टू बी हैक्टिंग. आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू अपेयर फॉर एनी कॉलेज रिलेटेड प्लेसमेंट्स. तो दिस यूज टू क्रिएट अनदर लाइक प्रेशर ऑन मी कि ओके अब क्या होगा, या तो पीपीओ नहीं मिला तो कॉलेज के फर्स्ट जो 2 मंथ्स में कंपनीज जो आती है वो आर द क्रीम कंपनीज. ओके, दिस इज हाउ प्लेसमेंट वर्क्स इन लाइक नॉर्मल कॉलेज सेटअप. कि इनिशियल जो प्लेसमेंट ड्राइव होगी, सम गुड कंपनीज विल कम एंड देन देयर विल बी सम कंपनीज व्हिच विल नॉट बी लाइक वेरी इंटरेस्टेड टू गो फॉर इन ऑल दिस थिंग्स. सो आई वाज लाइक कि यहाँ से अगर ये मिला नहीं, एंड आफ्टर दैट आई विल कंप्लीट माय इंटर्न व्हिच इज नॉट कन्वर्टेड टू पीपीओ, एंड देन आई अगेन सेट फॉर कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट जहाँ पे मोस्टली प्लेसमेंट वाज ऑलरेडी ओवर, मतलब जो गुड कंपनीज का था. So this was another thing which was like playing behind my mind कि okay क्या करना है, अब कैसे करना है. But like these are some of the challenges like I was talking कि जो internship में like you will face कि हो सकता है कि कैसा जा रहा है, you will not get to know. फिर अराउंड आई थिंक 7th वीक आई प्रेजेंटेड माई फर्स्ट डेमो, जहाँ पे मैंने प्रोजेक्ट्स पे अपने जो भी प्रोग्रेस था आई शेयर दैट, आई क्रिएटेड अ पीपीटी एंड ऑल. एंड वहाँ पे जो टीम का फीडबैक था दैट वाज वेरी पॉजिटिव कि ओके दिस वाज वेरी ग्रेट, मतलब प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट और बहुत अच्छा किया है. सो देयर आई गॉट सम मोटिवेशन कि हाँ ठीक है, समथिंग गुड इज हैपनिंग. बाकी अदरवाइज जो मेरे फ्रेंड्स थे, यू विल हियर लाइक यूट्यूब वीडियोस की इंटर्न की लाइफ कैसी होती है. तो देयर इज अ इंटर्न डे जहाँ पे सब एंजॉय कर रहे होते हैं, यहाँ पे किसी का टीम आउटिंग हो रहा होता है, टीम लंच होता है. So I used to ask my manager कि मेरे जो फ्रेंड्स है गिटहब और बाकी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट की टीम्स में, दे आर हैविंग दिस ब्रेक, इंटर्न आउटिंग, और हम लोग तो सिर्फ काम ही कर रहे हैं. सो ही वाज लाइक कि अभी इंटर्न है, ये कर लो काम, बाद में ज्वाइन करने पे भी ये आउटिंग वगैरह तो मिल जाएगी. सो दिस यूज्ड टू बी आवर कन्वर्सेशन. सो ही वाज आल्सो अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि दिस इज समथिंग, मतलब जो इंटर्न लेवल के लिए काफ़ी प्रोजेक्ट का लेवल हाई है. एंड आई यूज्ड टू फील कि अगर ये कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ तो इट विल बी कि आखिरी में पीपी वगैरह के डिस्कशंस कैसे होंगे. So this last week came. Last week में you will present that intern related project to a wider audience. Wider audience means LT and XLT, leadership team and the senior leadership team. So वहाँ पे you will present, और वहाँ पे फिर US से भी folks होते थे और अलग अलग बाकी जो teams के partner teams होते थे वो होते थे. और I was working on my demo. So you will prepare a final demo की एक demo back end front end सब in place रहेगा, and that will be shown in that team meeting. तो वहाँ पे जो उसका बैकएंड रिलेटेड कुछ था, उसमें कुछ इश्यू आ गया. मतलब शायद मेरा डेमो फ्राइडे को या थर्सडे को शेड्यूल था और वेडनेसडे को आई वाज वर्किंग, और रात की कुछ 1 या 2 बजे कुछ इश्यू आता है और चीज़ें चलना बंद हो जाती है वहाँ पे. एंड आई वाज क्लूलेस कि पता नहीं क्या करना है, मतलब डेमो या तो रिकॉर्ड भी नहीं हो पाएगा, बिकॉज वी कीप अ रिकॉर्डिंग ऑल्सो, कि अगर लाइव डेमो नहीं हुआ तो विल शो दैट मतलब रिकॉर्डिंग वहाँ पे. बाकी ये बंद हो गया, और वहाँ पे फिर देयर इज अ लाइक सिस्टम कॉल्ड ऑन कॉल सपोर्ट. सो हर टीम से इंजीनियर होता है, जो कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम आएगी तो उसके लिए ऑन कॉल बोलते हैं उसे कि ही विल बी अवेलेबल 24/7. तो जिस सिस्टम में प्रॉब्लम आई थी, वी रीच्ड आउट टू दैट पर्सन, और इंटरेस्टिंगली उसे 1 महीना हुआ था ज्वाइन करे को. तो ही वाज लाइक कि मुझे भी नहीं पता कि क्यों नहीं काम कर रहा है. तो हमें लगा कि मतलब लाइक व्हाट विल हैपन नाउ, कि अब 2 दिन में डेमो है, पूरा जो 7 हफ्ते 8 हफ्ते की मेहनत है, अगर डेमो नहीं हुआ तो यू विल नॉट से ना कि उस दिन कुछ चलना बंद हो गया इसलिए मैं डेमो दिखा नहीं पा रहा हूँ अपना. सो यू नीड टू प्रेजेंट समथिंग कि 7-8 हफ्ते जो भी किया है. सो फिर हमने ही उसे रात में, मतलब फिर आई वाज विद माय मतलब मेंटर, एंड हमने खुद ने उसे फिक्स किया उस समय के लिए कैसे भी, क्योंकि रात की 1 बजे और कोई सपोर्ट बाकियों का मिल नहीं सकता था. जो ऑन कॉल इंजीनियर था उसने बोला कि मैं तो खुद न्यू ज्वाइन हूँ, दिस इज माय फर्स्ट ऑन कॉल, तो फर्स्ट मेरा भी एक्सपीरियंस है, आई ऑल्सो डोंट नो कि मुझे करना क्या है यहाँ पे. सो दीज आर सम ऑफ द लाइक इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग विच हैपेंड. और वहाँ पे फिर मैंने प्रेजेंटेड माई फाइनल डेमो, तो इट वॉज वेल रिसीव्ड. और जो प्रोडक्ट में, जैसे यू माइट हैव हर्ड कि एक इंजीनियरिंग साइड होता है और एक प्रोडक्ट साइड होता है, तो जो पीएम्स होते हैं, प्रोडक्ट मैनेजर्स या प्रोग्राम मैनेजर्स, सो दे वर आस्किंग कि ओके ये बहुत अच्छा फीचर है, ऐसे कब रिलीज कर रहे हैं हम, और ये सब इस तरीके से दे वर आस्किंग. सो इट वाज अ लाइक गुड डिस्कशन व्हिच हैपेंड. एंड उसके बाद आई वाज टोल्ड, सो लाइक दिस इज माय लास्ट डे जहाँ जिसकी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ, तो आई वाज टोल्ड कि अब इसका एक डेमो रिकॉर्ड करो, और विद सम लाइक 2 मिनट वर्जन ऑफ दैट, आई वाज वर्किंग ऑन दैट. तो इस तरीके से डेमो रिकॉर्ड करते करते बाकी सारी चीज़ें होते हुए रात की 10 बजे कुछ मेरा ये खत्म हुआ था इंटर्न फ्राइडे को. और उसके अलावा लास्ट डे आई वाज हैविंग अ मीटिंग विद माय M3. M3 मींस यू हैव मैनेजर व्हिच इज योर इमीडिएट मैनेजर, देन यू हैव M2 व्हिच इज योर मैनेजर्स, एंड देयर इज M3 व्हिच इज एट द थर्ड लेवल ऑफ हायरार्की. So she scheduled a call with me कि last day, so farewell call sort of thing, and she was just saying कि okay कैसा था प्रोजेक्ट या क्या था. तो I told कि ये रोलर कोस्टर राइड की तरह था, and she was कि do you want to join back this team अगर you are selected. So I told कि I'll think about it, कि you get this option कि same team join करना है, you want to join a different team. So after that internship I was like कि PPO मिले या ना मिले, इतना काम तो अब मैं वापस करने नहीं वाला हूँ. क्योंकि 14 to 15 hours I was giving मतलब throughout, और मुझे लगा था कि अब PPO मिले ना मिले, कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट देखेंगे, आई विल सर्च फॉर समथिंग, दिस इज मतलब होने नहीं वाला अब तो. सो देन शी टोल्ड ओके ओके. और फिर उसने मतलब शी आस्क्ड मी कि कौन है तुम्हारा इंटरव्यूअर. तो आपके लास्ट डे या सेकंड लास्ट डे आपके पीपीओ इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल्ड होते हैं. तो दिस इज डिपेंडेंट ऑन योर मेंटर एंड मैनेजर्स फीडबैक. तो वहाँ पे ऐसा होता है हायर, स्ट्रॉन्ग हायर और नो हायर, ओके, दीज आर द रिकमेंडेशन गिवन, और उसके अकॉर्डिंगली इंटरव्यू शेड्यूल होते हैं. बट बिकॉज ऑफ दिस प्रोजेक्ट एंड ऑल आई वाज हैविंग दिस स्ट्रॉन्ग हायर एज माय रिकमेंडेशन. तो उसमें यू विल हैव अ ए राउंड एज अप्रोप्रिएट. सो ए स्टैंड फॉर एज अप्रोप्रिएट, कि बेस्ड ऑन द फीडबैक यू विल हैव दैट राउंड. सो माई M3 आज की कौन है योर, कौन तुम्हारा इंटरव्यू लेने वाला है. टोल्ड कि दिस इज द पर्सन हु इज टेकिंग माई इंटरव्यू. So she told, okay, I know him. So they were both at same level. And my interview was of 45 minutes initially, and 45 minutes or 1 hour. After, like, I think she messaged that person who was taking my interview. Some feedback was already shared. And then interview was reduced for just half an hour. Okay, so I got some idea कि okay, some good things are happening, कि कुछ तो अच्छा है. तो because I was having friends जिन्हें interview का कुछ invite भी नहीं आया था. Because या तो उन्हें no hire मिला था, या फिर there was technical rounds. सो इट्स लाइक कि अगर आपको नॉर्मल कुछ मिडल लेवल का वो मिलता है फीडबैक, लाइक हायर ओनली, नॉट स्ट्रॉन्ग हायर, सो यू विल हैव अगेन DSA राउंड्स. तो आफ्टर 8 weeks यू आर नॉट इन टच विद DSA एंड ऑल, और उसके बाद अपेयरिंग फॉर अ DSA राउंड इज वेरी टफ. तो मेरे एक फ्रेंड था, उसे यही हुआ, एंड देयर वर 2 DSA राउंड्स व्हिच हैपेंड, एंड इन 8 weeks. तो DSA इज लाइक मैथ्स, इफ यू आर नॉट प्रैक्टिसिंग इट रेगुलरली यू लूज टच की, मतलब किस तरीके से अप्लाई करना है, कैसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करना है. तो बाकी लाइक दैट्स व्हाट हैपेंस कि आप उस समय DSA सॉल्व नहीं कर रहे होते हो कि एरे को कैसे सॉर्ट करना है या फिर लिंक को कैसे रिवर्स करना होता है. तो वो कॉन्सेप्ट सारे भूल जाते हो. एंड वहाँ पे उसका लाइक व्हाट हैपेंड विद माय फ्रेंड कि उसके 2 इंटरव्यू हुए एंड दैट डिडंट गो वेल, और ही वाज नॉट एबल टू लाइक गेट अ PPO आउट ऑफ दैट इंटर्नशिप. बट फॉर मी देयर वाज नो DSA एंड ऑल, ओनली माय प्रोजेक्ट डिस्कशन वाज देयर. और वो 7 हफ्तों से मैंने इतना अच्छे से उसे वो कर लिया था कि कुछ प्रिपेयर नहीं करना था. मैं इंटरव्यू में गया, मैंने इतनी बार वो प्रेजेंट कर चुका था उन चीज़ों को, सो आई प्रेजेंटेड दैट. और फिर जो मेरा इंटरव्यू था उसने कहा ओके ओके, समथिंग लाइक दिस, वी आर आल्सो वर्किंग इन आवर टीम, तो इट्स अ गुड थिंग, गुड प्रोजेक्ट, एंड यू डिड अ लाइक गुड जॉब एंड ऑल. एंड आफ्टर दैट यू विल नॉट गेट टू नो योर रिजल्ट्स इमीडिएटली. वो कुछ 1-2 हफ्ते बाद यू विल गेट टू नो अबाउट योर रिजल्ट्स एंड ऑल. सो दिस इज हाउ माई इंटर्नशिप एंडेड. और उसके बाद 1-2 हफ्ते, आई टोल्ड यू कि मुझे, मैं भूल गया था कि इंटर्नशिप में मुझे अब PPO चाहिए नहीं चाहिए, व्हाट विल हैपन आई विल सी. बाकी लाइक गुड थिंग हैपेंड, आई रिसीव्ड दिस मेल कि दैट यू गॉट अ PPO एंड ऑल, एंड यहाँ पे यू विल गेट ऑप्शन टू चूज योर टीम, और ये सब होता है फिर देयर प्रोसेसेस. एंड उसके अलावा इट वाज वर्चुअल इंटर्नशिप बिकॉज अगेन कोविड वाज देयर, सो आई वाज नॉट एबल टू विजिट माइक्रोसॉफ्ट कैंपस. माय टीम सिट्स इन बैंगलोर, और वहाँ पे सब लोग थे, बाकी आई वाज डूइंग इट लाइक फ्रॉम माय होम. सो इट वाज अ वर्चुअल इंटरव्यू. तो उसमें कुछ ऐसा नहीं हुआ था कि वर्किंग इन ऑफिस और गोइंग फॉर सम टीम आउटिंग, आई वाज टेलिंग यू राइट. तो इट वाज कंप्लीटली कि मैं अपने रूम में बैठा रहता था, और वो पूरा इंटर्न वैसे निकला था. तो लास्ट डे वर्चुअल ऐसा था, फेयरवेल टाइप का, जिसमें माय मैनेजर टोल्ड कि एवरीवन ऑर्डर सम फूड, एंड ऑनलाइन मीटिंग में हम लोग खाना खाते थे सामने, स्क्रीन ऑन, कैमरा ऑन करके. सो दिस यूज्ड टू बी आवर टीम आउटिंग. तो फिर सब बोलते थे कि अच्छा मेरे प्लेट में क्या है, मैं ये खा रहा हूँ, वो खा रहा हूँ. तो इस तरीके से इट यूज्ड टू हैपन कि कहीं ना कहीं वो थोड़ा ह्यूमन कनेक्शन लाने के लिए. सो सब पूछ रहे थे कि हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस एंड ये सब. तो माय मैनेजर ने भी सेम क्वेश्चन पूछा कि अगर यू विल गेट PPO, विल जॉइन सेम टीम. तो बिकॉज दे वर नोइंग कि इतना ज़्यादा ग्रिल हो चुका है अब ये, कि चांसेस आर वेरी लेस कि ही विल रिटर्न टू द सेम टीम. सो फॉर देम इट इज अ लाइक गुड थिंग इफ अ इंटर्न इज रिटर्निंग टू सेम टीम, बिकॉज 2 महीने में यू आर फेमिलियर विद द टीम एज वेल एज द टेक स्टैक. So they will prefer कि someone who has interned with the team comes back to the team. So this is what like they wanted. तो इसलिए they ask कि okay what will be your preference, because then it's on us कि हमें same team में जाना है या फिर हमें कोई दूसरी team choose करना है. So they were also asking the same question कि क्या करना है, same team में आओगे या नहीं आओगे. तो I told कि मतलब सोचता हूँ, अभी तो मैं break लूँगा काफ़ी अच्छे से, and then I'll think about all these things कि क्या करना है. फिर दिस हैपेंड, और मतलब इट वाज अ गुड डे, मतलब व्हेन यू कंप्लीट योर इंटर्न एंड ऑल द फॉर्मेलिटीज, ये सब हुआ था. और दिस इज हाउ द लाइक माय इंटर्नशिप एंडेड. और फिर मैं किसी प्लेसमेंट के लिए कॉलेज में बैठा नहीं था. आफ्टर 1 week or 2 आई रिसीव दिस मेल कि आई हैव रिसीव्ड द PPO. सो तो मेरा कॉलेज प्लेसमेंट से कुछ कनेक्शन ही नहीं रहा. मैंने कोई OT नहीं दिया, कोई इंटरव्यू नहीं दिया कॉलेज में, एंड आई वाज लाइक बाय अगस्त आई वाज प्लेस्ड, मतलब दिस PPO थिंग वाज ऑलरेडी डन. So this is like how this internship happened. So few lessons which like when I look back at that time which I learned is, so I was thinking कि मुझे tough project मिला है, so it will backfire, मतलब कि tough project अगर complete हुआ या नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा, उसमें कितना impact show कर पाऊंगा मैं tough projects में. तो but when I look back I see it as a positive thing, because वो tough project था. तो मैंने आप लोगों को बताया मेरा इंटरव्यू जो था 1 घंटे का आधे घंटे में कन्वर्ट हो गया, because I've already proved myself in one sense कि it was a tough project which I implemented. उसके अलावा the thing इन फ्रेशर्स विच दे वांट इज, उन्हें पता है कि इसे नहीं आता होगा कुछ, ये सब फ्रेशर्स है तो कैसे टेक प्रोडक्शन लेवल पे वर्क पड़ता है, बट द थिंग दे सी इज योर एटीट्यूड कि आप कितने लर्निंग के लिए फ्लेक्सिबल हो, कितने अडेप्टेबल हो चीज़ों को लेके. सो इट वॉज अ टफ प्रोजेक्ट, सो आई गॉट टू शो दैट कि ओके आई एम रेडी टू लर्न थिंग्स, आई एम रेडी टू डू थिंग्स. मुझे नहीं होगा, सो दिस अ कल्चर इन माइक्रोसॉफ्ट कॉल्ड ग्रोथ माइंडसेट. सो इट्स लाइक नो इट ऑल की जगह आई लर्न इट ऑल. So you should not be knowing everything, but you should be ready to learn everything. So this is the mindset like which is there. Like Satya introduced this when he became the CEO. This growth mindset thing. So you can read more about growth mindset. It's an interesting concept, very good to implement in your like normal life also. That you will not have something कि मुझे नहीं आता ये तो I'll not be able to do this. You will have this mindset नहीं आता तो मैं सीख लूँगा, but I'll give it a try. So this is how like they judge this also. This promotions are also based on this. So while you need to write your like history, connect history is there, like you'll write about your work done and everything. So this is one of the parameters that how you displayed growth mindset. So during my internship also when I felt this, so I mentioned all this thing. My manager also mentioned this things ki, okay, he was from a different tech background, he was from electronics and telecommunication, he was not knowing the C sharp is something very, so किसी को बाहर you will not see कि C sharp का कोड YouTube पे कोई सिखा रहा है इस तरीके से, they'll be there. जिस तरीके से जावा स्क्रिप्ट और रिएक्ट पॉपुलर है, सी शार्प इज समथिंग वेरी स्पेसिफिक टू माइक्रोसॉफ्ट एंड सम सिलेक्टेड कंपनीज, डॉट नेट फ्रेमवर्क और ये सब चीजें. सो इट वाज लाइक कि इन अ वेरी शॉर्ट स्पैन ऑफ टाइम आई कंट्रीब्यूटेड टू 2 different repos with 2 different languages. One was .NET, another one was this React and TypeScript वगैरह. उसके अलावा आई टच डिफरेंट पार्ट्स. सो फ्रंट एंड आई टोल्ड कि फ्रंट एंड भी टच किया था, उसके अलावा बैक एंड टच किया था. उसके अलावा एक मिडल टायर होता है जहाँ पे ग्राफ क्यूएल वगैरह के कंसेप्ट आते हैं कि जो कॉल्स आती है, डेटा रिट्रीव करते हैं, ये सब चीज़ें. सो बिकॉज इट वॉज अ टफ प्रोजेक्ट, तो मुझे काफ़ी सारी जगह वो इम्पैक्ट शो करने का चांस मिला. सो आई वॉज हैविंग अ को इंटर्न विथ मी. सो शी वॉज फ्रॉम अ डिफरेंट कॉलेज. उसका बहुत सिंपल प्रोजेक्ट था कि कुछ वेबसाइट, जब मैंने कहा ना वो वेबसाइट बिल्डिंग टूल है, तो वेबसाइट जब प्रोविजन हो रही है, लाइक यू सिलेक्ट सम कॉन्फ़िगरेशन एंड ऑल, तो उस समय उस वेबसाइट में कितना टाइम होगा कंप्लीट होने में, लोड होने में, दैट वाज नॉट देयर. सो शी वर्कड ऑन अ प्रोग्रेस बार सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग. तो कुछ उसमें कॉन्सेप्ट्स थे, बाकी इट वाज अ वेरी इजी प्रोजेक्ट. एंड हर इंटर्न लाइक शी इट डिडंट गॉट कन्वर्टेड इनटू पीपीओ, बिकॉज अगर सिंपल प्रोजेक्ट्स होते हैं तो उसमें टफ होता है आपके मैनेजर या मेंटर के लिए ये डिसाइड करना कि इम्पैक्ट था या नहीं उस 2 हफ्ते के इंटर्न में. बिकॉज इफ आई टेल यू नाउ, मतलब आई थिंक आप लोगों को HTML CSS बेसिक सबको आते होंगे. सो आई टेल यू मतलब कुछ एक सिंगल पेज बना दो जिसमें कुछ बटन होंगे, ये होंगे, तो मोस्ट ऑफ विल बी एबल टू डू दिस. तो वहां पे मेकिंग अ जजमेंट कि किसका अच्छा था, इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट. बट आई टेल यू कि कुछ एक बहुत अच्छी सी रिएक्ट वेबसाइट बनाओ जिसमें बहुत सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स इन्वॉल्व है, तो वहां पे अ गुड नंबर ऑफ पीपल विल बी ऑलरेडी फिल्टर्ड आउट जो नहीं कर पाएंगे या फिर नहीं पहुंच पाएंगे. सो इट विल बी इजी टू मेक दैट डिसीजन. So tough project का this was one of the benefits which I think which was a good thing which happened. And उसके अलावा this imposter syndrome जो बोल रहा था कि आपको आएगा कि you will think कि मैं capable भी हूँ या नहीं हूँ. तो my M3 told me this like in one of the discussions कि you are here because you have cleared certain set of interviews and rounds जो required होते हैं Microsoft में work करने के लिए, किसी भी companies में for that matter. So you are the best person to do this job. So you should think like this. कि ऐसा नहीं कि हम यहाँ पे किसी तरीके से आ गए हैं. यू आर सिलेक्टेड आउट ऑफ सम नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स और ग्रुप ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स जहाँ पे आपने क्लियर किया है चीज़ों को. सो डोंट थिंक कि मैं कर पाऊंगा या फिर कर पाऊंगी या नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. लाइक यू कैन लर्न इट एंड कैन इम्प्लीमेंट इट. तो दिस वॉज अनदर थिंग कि जब भी यू आर गेटिंग दिस अपॉर्चुनिटीज, सो डोंट मेक योर डिसीजन बेस्ड ऑन वॉट यू नो, बट मेक योर डिसीजन कि क्या पॉसिबल है इफ यू गिव अ अटेम्प्ट. तो दिस थिंग आई लर्न फ्रॉम हैकेथॉन्स एक्चुअली. सो when I discuss this with like juniors in my college and all, so they tell कि hackathon में कैसे पार्ट ले, हमें तो अभी आता नहीं है वेब डेवलपमेंट या ऐप डेवलपमेंट. सो अगेन आई टोल्ड कि ऐसा नहीं कि आप वेब डेवलपमेंट पूरा सीख जाओगे तो hackathons जीतने लग जाओगे. तो आई स्टार्टेड टेकिंग पार्ट इन माई सेकेंड ईयर ओनली इन hackathons and all. तो प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट आएगा, यू विल थिंक अबाउट इट, ओके लॉग इन पेज बनाना है, इसके लिए ये सीखना है, बैक एंड में काम करना है, तो उसके लिए PHP का इतना नॉलेज काफ़ी है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू वर्क. बिकॉज ऐसे तो रिएक्ट के मास्टर बनने जाओगे तो बहुत बड़ी रिएक्ट अपने आप में, सेम फॉर जावास्क्रिप्ट और अदर टेक्नोलॉजीज. सो डोंट थिंक कि पूरा कितना सारा उसमें लर्न करने को है, आपको कितना रिक्वायर्ड है वो कैसे लर्न कर सकते हो, थिंक अबाउट दैट. सो दिस इज वन थिंग. सो हैकेथॉन इज वेरी गुड थिंग टू लर्न डिफरेंट टेक्नोलॉजीज. सो आई सजेस्ट और आई रिकमेंड कि टेक पार्ट इन हैकेथॉन्स, और बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग होते हैं. सो कोविड की वजह से मेरी 2-3 हैकेथॉन्स जो प्लान थी, ट्रिप्स वगैरह, वो कैंसिल हो गई थी. सो दिस SIH एक्चुअली इज अ फिजिकल इवेंट, तो अभी होते हैं अभी भी, मतलब वो हैकेथॉन वेन्यूज पे। बट बिकॉज ऑफ कोविड हम सिलेक्ट हुए थे, लेकिन हमारी ट्रिप, मतलब जो प्लान थी हैकेथॉन की, वो कैंसिल हुई और ये वर्चुअली कंडक्ट हुआ था। सो कोविड की वजह से काफ़ी कुछ डिस्टर्बेंस हुए थे। बाकी हमें बैंगलोर जाना मिला था सिंडिकेट बैंक हैकेथॉन के लिए। सो इट वॉज अ 2 डे हैकेथॉन। तो हैकेथॉन्स में यू विल नेटवर्क विद गुड नंबर ऑफ पीपल वहाँ पे। तो दैट वाज अ ओपन हैकेथॉन। तो वहाँ पे इंडस्ट्रीज से भी लोग थे। वी वर द यंगेस्ट टीम जो सेकंड ईयर में हैकेथॉन में सिलेक्ट हो गई थी आउट ऑफ 40 टीम्स। तो कुछ 36 वहाँ प्रेजेंट थी और वी वर द यंगेस्ट। उसके अलावा ज़्यादातर कॉर्पोरेट्स वाले लोग थे जिन्हें ऑलरेडी काफ़ी अच्छा नॉलेज था। तो विल गेट टू मीट पीपल हु आर ऑलरेडी वर्किंग इन दैट डोमेन एंड ऑल, और कैसे एक्चुअली काम करते हो। तो हम काफ़ी, मतलब मैं और मेरे 2 फ्रेंड्स थे, तो जो सिंडिकेट बैंक का टेक डिपार्टमेंट है उनके मेंटर्स हमें असाइन हुए थे। तो उन्होंने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग तरीके से फिर हमें बताया था कॉन्सेप्ट्स की, कि क्यूब मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम आपने डिजाइन किया है, सो हाउ इट विल वर्क एट अ स्केल। तो सिंडिकेट बैंक फॉर एग्जांपल, किसी बैंक के बहुत सारे कस्टमर्स होते हैं, ओके। तो कोई ऐसा सिस्टम जो इतनी स्केल पे वर्क करे, तो उसका क्या फ्लो होना चाहिए, हाउ शुड बी कंपोनेंट्स इन प्लेस, की डेटा मॉडल क्या होना चाहिए, या लॉगिन फ्लो कैसे होगा, सर्वर कहाँ पे लोकेटेड होंगे, डाटा कैसा फेच करोगे। तो ये सब कॉन्सेप्ट्स हैकेथॉन के थ्रू वी लर्न। एंड वहाँ पे वही अगेन यू विल गेट टू गेट, मतलब फ्री मील्स होंगे, फ्री ड्रिंक्स होंगे, और बहुत अच्छी, मतलब वो टी शर्ट और स्वैग्स वगैरह मिलते हैं। सो अनदर गुड वे। और उसके बाद प्राइज मनी भी। तो हर हैकेथॉन में यूजुअली दे स्टार्ट विद 1 लाख 3 लाख ऐसे करके प्राइजेस होते हैं। इस हैकेथॉन में शायद फर्स्ट प्राइस था 7 या 5 लाख रुपीज का कुछ अमाउंट था। सो वी लाइक केम अराउंड, लाइक कुछ 11 या 10th रैंक थी हमारी। सो वी गॉट सम 10-15,000 एज कैश प्राइज। बट अगेन अ गुड थिंग, मतलब कि कुछ लॉस नहीं है। अगर हार भी गए तो विल हैव लॉट ऑफ लर्निंग्स, और अगर जीत गए तो यू विल हैव दिस की प्राइज भी मिलेगा, यू विल गेट सम रिकॉग्निशन एंड ऑल। So this is like one thing I'll tell कि take part in hackathons more and more. अगर कुछ टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं भी पता है, brainstorm उस चीज़ों पे। I was talking with like प्रसाद कि कैसे you have this sessions also around business pitching and all. तो वहाँ पे discuss this things कि कैसे किसी hackathon में हम कुछ idea, बहुत सारी hackathons होते हैं। तो I think you're already aware। बाकी Hacker Earth is one like website where you can look for hackathons. उसके अलावा D2C was the name earlier. I'm not sure if that website is renamed or something, but this was another website where you'll find good number of hackathons. और आजकल बहुत सारी companies होती है, they hire through hackathons actually. So they will have hackathon as the first round of like selection and all, and after that sometimes they take interview and based on hackathons only they will hire. तो मेरे कुछ फ्रेंड्स है, वो लूवेस करके आई थिंक कुछ कंपनी है, उसमें दे हायर थ्रू हैकेथॉन्स एंड ऑल। फ्लिपकार्ट का भी चैलेंज होता है, उसमें भी दे हायर थ्रू हैकेथॉन्स, एटलीस्ट इंटर्न लेवल पे विल गेट। So मेरा भी माइक्रोसॉफ्ट का, आई टोल्ड यू कि इट वाज अ प्रोजेक्ट कंपटीशन थ्रू व्हिच आई गॉट दिस इंटर्न अपॉर्चुनिटी। सो दिस वाज अराउंड माय इंटर्नशिप एंड आफ्टर 1 year आई जॉइंड एज फुल टाइम वहाँ पे। तो ये 1 साल में, इसके बीच कुछ ज़्यादा बताने को नहीं है। मेरी इंटर्न और पीपी हो गई थी, तो मैंने काफ़ी अच्छे से एंजॉय किया था अपना फाइनल ईयर, क्योंकि कोविड के ब्रेक के बाद काफ़ी दिनों बाद बाहर आने को मिला था। तो आई वॉज सेटिस्फाइड। उसके बाद मैं ज़्यादा इधर हाथ पैर नहीं मार रहा था कि अब अमेजोन, ये माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के बाद अमेजोन के लिए भी देते हैं, गूगल के लिए भी देते हैं। तो मैंने कहा था ठीक है, दिस इज समथिंग गुड, लाइक आई अब नाउ ज्वाइन दिस कंपनी डायरेक्टली। सो वो मेरा फाइनल ईयर ऐसे निकला था। व्हेन आई जॉइन दिस टीम बैक, सो आई जॉइन द सेम टीम एक्चुअली, क्योंकि मेरा उस समय एक्सपीरियंस अच्छा नहीं था। बट आई टोल्ड यू कि जब मैं पीछे देखा कि इट वाज अ गुड लर्निंग ओवरऑल, तो आई जॉइन द सेम टीम। तो अपॉर्चुनिटी रहती है आपके पास कि यू वांट टू जॉइन सेम टीम, यू वांट टू जॉइन अ डिफरेंट टीम। तो उसमें डिफरेंट टीम में यू डोंट गेट टू चूज द टीम एक्चुअली, बिकॉज दे विल मैप यू बेस्ड ऑन द रिक्वायरमेंट्स। तो हो सकता है किसी रैंडम टीम में डाल दे, और कुछ प्रोडक्ट्स ऐसे हैं माइक्रोसॉफ्ट के लेगेसी प्रोडक्ट्स जहाँ पे काम करना बहुत बोरिंग हो जाता है सही में। तो फॉर एग्जांपल पावर शेल, तो मुझे कमांड लाइन बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है। तो वहाँ पे अगर कमांड लाइन की स्क्रिप्ट्स लिखनी होगी तो आई विल नॉट लाइक। तो पावर पेजेस वॉज समथिंग। तो मुझे ऐसी चीज़ों पे काम करना पसंद है जहाँ पे इफ यू इम्प्लीमेंट समथिंग देयर इज अ विजुअल आउटपुट ऑल्सो। सो वेब डेवलपमेंट इज वन थिंग जहाँ पे फॉर श्योर होता है, एंड दिस प्रोडक्ट वॉज ऑल अराउंड वेबसाइट बिल्डिंग एंड ऑल। सो आई जॉइन द सेम टीम, लाइक 22 I joined as a full-time engineer वहाँ पे। And after that I now will talk about something कि क्या क्या मैंने अभी तक projects किए हैं। तो my first project was around a human generator. So you can note this human generator is an interesting tool. So human generator helps you to scaffold initial if you create a Java project या JavaScript project, तो एक package.json file होगी, कुछ एक और JS file होगी which is kind of default. Similarly if you are building some Teams extension, Microsoft Teams के जो apps होती हैं या फिर Chrome extension, so there are set files which are already there and which are required. So these kind of tools, this human tools helps you to create that standard set of files. So आप कुछ कमांड दोगे कि मेरे प्रोजेक्ट का नाम ये होना चाहिए, ये इसके कुछ कन्फिग्स होने चाहिए, और आपको वो एक इनिशियल सेट ऑफ फाइल जो भी रिक्वायर्ड है उस प्रोजेक्ट के लिए वो जनरेट कर देगा. So I created something of that sort for my product. This was one of my like first projects. It's already live. मतलब ये 1.5 साल हो चुके हैं. It's in public और ये सब चल रहा है, मतलब प्रोडक्शन में है वो. After that I got a chance to work on telemetry. तो किसी ने सुना telemetry? What is telemetry? ये term इस तरीके से कुछ. Okay. Black box पता है, एरो जो एयरप्लेन्स में ब्लैक बॉक्स होता है. Okay. So telemetry is not specific to like software development or something. Telemetry is around logging. तो कोई भी प्रोडक्ट होता है या फिर कोई भी डिवाइस होता है, हार्डवेयर सॉफ्टवेयर, तो यू विल लॉग सर्टेन पैरामीटर हाउ इट्स फंक्शनिंग. सो दैट इज कॉल्ड टेलीमेट्री लॉगिंग. और इस तरीके से सो ब्लैक बॉक्स, आई आस्क्ड ब्लैक बॉक्स बिकॉज कभी भी कुछ प्लान क्रैश हुआ या कुछ भी होता है, सो ब्लैक बॉक्स इज समथिंग विच दे ट्राई टू रिकवर. और वहां पे ये मेंशन्ड होता है कि क्या क्या सक्सेस हुआ. ओके, तो इंजन स्टार्ट हो गया था एंड द लैंडिंग व्हील्स वर आउट, ये सब चीजें सक्सेसफुल थी, जो विंग स्पैन थे दे वर वर्किंग प्रॉपरली. एंड इफ देर इज सम एरर, तो 5 थिंग्स वर वर्किंग करेक्टली बट 6 स्टेज जो थी वहां पे इट फेल्ड. तो कुछ तो हुआ कि जो उसका एग्जॉस्ट था दैट वाज नॉट वर्किंग प्रॉपरली, इस तरीके से. सो दिस इज हाउ टेलीमेट्री हेल्प्स यू टू डीबग और सी द वर्किंग ऑफ योर प्रोडक्ट. ओके, तो इफ आई बिल्ड, सपोज यू आर बिल्डिंग एन ऐप और कुछ वेबसाइट वहां पे. ओके, सो यू वांट टू नो कि 10 लोग लॉग इन करने आए तो उसमें से कितनों का लॉग इन सक्सेसफुल था. ओके, तो हाउ विल यू गेट टू नो? So this telemetry helps you in that. So it's kind of a data logging which you do for every product. तो hardware, software सब में होता है. तो किसी ने I think कभी customer support किसी product के लिए call किया होगा, so they will ask you कि can you provide certain this file or something, इस तरीके से वो पूछते हैं कि इसकी log file generate हुई होगी sir, can you share that with us? So that telemetry will actually tell you about that. So हमारे एक product था VS Code extension, like we have our products VS Code extension, उसकी telemetry काफी बुरी स्थिति में थी, बेकार स्टेट में थी. सो वो टेलीमेट्री थी नहीं हमारे प्रोडक्ट के लिए. सो इन अ प्रोडक्ट इफ यू डोंट हैव अ टेलीमेट्री, देयर इज नो पैरामीटर बाय व्हिच यू कैन जस्टिफाई कि उसका यूजेस कितना है या क्या है. सो बाय दिस टेलीमेट्री ओनली विल गेट टू नो कि ओके देयर आर 10,000 डाउनलोड्स उस प्रोडक्ट के. ओके, एंड आफ्टर दैट देयर आर 3 टर्म्स व्हिच आर लाइक यूज्ड इन इंडस्ट्री, माउ, डाउ एंड वाउ. सो इट स्टैंड्स फॉर डेली एक्टिव यूजर्स, वीकली एक्टिव यूजर्स एंड मंथली एक्टिव यूजर्स. सो दिस इज हाउ अ प्रोडक्ट्स एडॉप्शन इज लाइक ट्रैक्ड, क्योंकि इसके डेली यूजर्स इतने हैं, इसके वीकली यूजर्स इतने हैं, मंथली इतने हैं, तो स्टिकीनेस कितनी है. कि सपोज किसी दिन हुआ कि प्रोडक्ट लॉन्च हुआ, उसमें 10,000 लोगों ने लॉग इन किया, बट उस एक हफ्ते के बाद वो 10,000 से 1,000 पे आ गया उसका यूजेस. सो इट्स लाइक कि प्रोडक्ट की स्टिकीनेस कम होती जा रही है, पीपल आर नॉट यूजिंग दैट प्रोडक्ट, कुछ तो प्रॉब्लम है. सो दिस इज हाउ यू मेक डिसीजंस कि अब कौन सा नया फीचर लॉन्च करना है वहाँ पे. तो इफ यू डोंट हैव दिस इन्फॉर्मेशन कि क्या यूजेस है या कौन सा प्रोडक्ट फेल हो रहा है या लॉग इन फेल हो रही है. यूजुअली आपने देखा होगा कि कुछ किसी प्रोडक्ट में कुछ काम नहीं करता तो हम ऐसा नहीं होता कि उसके प्रोडक्ट के सपोर्ट को या कॉल करते हैं, उस प्रोडक्ट को यूज करना बंद कर देते हैं, राइट. सो दिस इज व्हाट इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हमेशा कस्टमर फीडबैक नहीं देगा आपको कि आपका प्रोडक्ट कैसा है, वो सिंपली उसे यूज करना बंद कर देगा. सो दिस टेलीमेट्री टेल्स यू दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन कि ओके कहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. ओके, देयर वर 10,000 कस्टमर्स, उनमें से 3,000 का लॉग इन ही फेल हुआ, तो अगर लॉग इन ही फेल हुआ तो आगे दे विल नॉट यूज दैट प्रोडक्ट बिकॉज लॉग इन के बाद ही बाकी चीजें स्टार्ट होगी. So this is how you drill down ki okay what should be the next set of features we should work on. Ki telemetry is not, this login is not working correctly, so we should work on login side of things कि कहाँ पे infra में gap है या फिर कैसे वो flow fail हो रहा है. So this is how you make business decisions. So this was my second project, so I worked on a telemetry related infra. So this is a very like good thing to work on because ये एक बार you will work on this and you will get a complete picture कि how product users business decisions are taken. So in that learning, in that terms, it was a good learning कि कैसे मेरा product काम कर रहा था. I was able to share that, and this was in my first 6 months of my work. And after this launch of Human and this telemetry thing, this AI buzz came, OpenAI and all this. So I think you all might be already aware कि OpenAI have and Microsoft have a very good level of collaboration around कुछ 49-50% stacks है दोनों के, and Microsoft is kind of the front runner in this AI field. So it's leading this AI game अभी. So there was a very famous statement कि सत्या ने कहा था कि we wanted to make Google dance and now Google is dancing. So because Satya was working on this Edge Explorer और I think जो उनका पुराना IE था, and you all know the story कि IE बंद हो गया, उसके बाद they launched Edge launch किया था, and they were not able to surpass this Chrome anytime. तो हमेशा Chrome was the market leader और दे ट्राइड मेनी डिफरेंट थिंग. तो एज में काफ़ी सारे उन्होंने कुछ एड्स या कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग फीचर दे लॉन्च, बाकी इट नेवर हैपेंड कि एज वाज अबव क्रोम. बट विद दिस बिंग चैट विच वाज द फर्स्ट thing which they launched from Microsoft side in terms of AI integration, and like Google का you all know the story कि उनके जो बाढ़ related काफी demos थे वो fail हुए थे. They provided some astronaut related information जो गलत थी. So all this was because they were seeing कि Microsoft काफी तेजी से आगे बढ़ रहा है. If we are not able to catch up, तो हम will lag behind this race. और अभी भी है मतलब not Amazon, not Facebook, not Google, no one like near to Microsoft in terms of AI related implementation. So yeah, this was a very famous statement. So Satya actually told us in one of the interviews he wanted to make Google dance, and now Google is dancing. So this is how like Microsoft is very aggressive with AI and all. So another thing you might have heard that there are different co-pilots which Microsoft is launching. So Microsoft's AI integrations are called co-pilots. So there is a reason behind this interesting thing. They don't call it autopilot or pilots because they don't want to show it that it's smarter than human and it can do more things which humans are able to do. It's kind of a co-pilot. So it will assist you as a sidecar. You want to ask something, you want to search something. So it will help you to do those kind of things. So that's why it's called co-pilot. So in our product, also we launched this co-pilot. So I got a chance to work on that. So my product mein jo co-pilot integrations are. So I was part of that V team, I would say. So initially, when something new is there, so there's a very small set of people who get to work on that because we are not sure कि वो कितना successful होगा, possible है या नहीं है. So I was there with my manager. My manager was there. There was one senior, like SD2 was there, and I was there. So we three started with this, and in around 2 or 3 months, we implemented that whole co-pilot for that like our product, and we launched it in around July or August, I think, like last year. So that was another interesting project which was very similar to my internship. तो इसी तरीके से it used to be very tight deadlines. पता नहीं है co-pilot में कैसे क्या implement करना है. तो prompt engineering you might have heard is another मतलब there are YouTube ads also. Okay, you learn prompt engineering 9 rupees or something like that. So this prompt engineering is very interesting thing. This is how you make actually AI work for you. So usually if you go to OpenAI, that chat window which is there, it is generic actually. तो आप कुछ specific product specific या कुछ पूछोगे, it will not be able to tell you. So this is why this co-pilot thing comes in. You train that AI model which is very generic. It is trained on some number of data points, billion data points. But if you ask something specific, it will not able to tell you. So this is where this prompt engineering comes in. So there is a model, then this prompt engineering layer is there. So by prompt engineering means if you ask, like I told you, Power Pages is our product. So if you ask key how to create a web page in Power Pages, okay. So this is a generic prompt which a user will type, but behind the scenes will take that prompt, will take out some keywords. So user is asking about creating a web page, okay, and it is different than creating a normal web page in a web development flow. So Power Pages has its own different kind of requirement which is there. So now I need to tell that co-pilot, okay, this is how like I should create a page in Power Pages. So there is concept called few shot learning. Okay, so we'll tell you, okay, this is how page in Power Pages looks like. So there are 2-3 examples. These are certain sets you need to follow instructions, and all this is kind of a layer between the large language model LLMs which are there and the user interaction. So this is what I worked on during that co-pilot project. And again, this was again a very interesting project to work on because co-pilot was completely new thing. हर दिन कुछ नया मॉडल आ रहा था. There were new changes. Microsoft internally also like things were evolving. तो किसी को पता नहीं था कि how this LLMs will work, how they will respond. So there were problems like कि harms related prompts. So if you ask something कि how to make a bomb and this kind of questions if you ask. So co-pilot was responding to such questions also. So it's kind of a not something right कि ऐसा कुछ response मिल रहा है. So there were challenges around that कि कैसे इसे tackle करेंगे कि if someone is asking कि how to create a bomb, so it should not tell you 10 steps कि okay there are 10 different ways to create bombs. Okay, so people, and it was actually happening that it was responding with such kind of answers also actually. So these were certain challenges they were exploring कि if product is going in public and users hands, so how they will actually stop these kind of things. So you might have heard there were news also. People started interacting with co-pilots and this OpenAI models like human beings also. So then there were times कि co-pilot became aggressive and the co-pilot started like abusing or providing certain kind of inputs which were not right actually. So these were different challenges we got to work on कि कैसे इसे वो करना है. तो how we handle this. So there is something called harms related responsible AI. So कुछ भी ऐसा prompts होगा तो we'll have a certain list, certain checks which are there in that prompt, meta prompt only, prompt engineering. क्योंकि if someone asks how to create a bomb, so bomb is a keyword which is like you can identify this is something offensive or which is not good actually. So you'll mark that as a red, and then you will respond ki, okay, this is something which we do not support, try with a different prompt which is relevant to Power Pages in this case. So this was one thing. And this prompt engineering also is a very interesting thing. So ऐसा होता था कि if you tell, okay, so they are actually LLMs are dumb, तो it appears कि बहुत smart है, बाकी if you start working actually with them, तो practical they are like dumb models जिन्हें पता है कि 10 चीजें ऐसी करती है, और फिर अगर आप 11वीं चीज पूछोगे तो उन 10 का यूज करके कुछ they will generate something. So in a crude way, this is how LLMs work. So when we provide certain kind of examples, तो if your examples are wrong actually, so अगर कुछ भी उसमें गलत है, so it will start generating wrong responses. So you need to be very careful with all this prompt engineering all. So I would say कि Copilot is very good thing, like for you apart from web development and all this. Try to work on this OpenAI related projects, actually Copilot related, not Copilot, LLM related. So there is a website called deeplearning.ai. So you might have heard about this. So there's a famous, actually very famous machine learning instructor. He is there on Coursera. Andrew NG.
Daniel Aros.
No, I think it's Andrew NG, something like that. Like D. Yes, CS15, yeah. So he is the founder of this deeplearning.ai, and they have collaborated with OpenAI to launch certain courses. And those courses are very good because they are like 1.5 or 2 hours long courses. So it's not like some 30 modules are there and you know to learn all that. So they'll teach you how to work with LLMs, how to create projects with LLM. So earlier you used to create some simple chat application using web development. So now try to include this OpenAI related stuffs in that. So try to create a chat bot which is powered by AI. Okay. So these are some good things to explore in hackathons also and to learn also. So you can check out some courses. So they have launched some course like prompt engineering for developers to create this OpenAI related applications. So you can, currently those courses are for free. So like good time to register and learn about that. So I also took some courses to, so this is how we work as a software engineer also. So now this OpenAI thing was new for us also, this how to write a prompt and all. So you will not tell there कि okay ये project मिला है मुझे तो नहीं लिखने आते prompt, so I'll not work है इस तरीके से. अब वो project मिला है, now it's your job to explore कि कैसे वो अब सीखना है, how to write a prompt, how prompt engineering works, how LLMs work, what are the key factors to consider when writing a prompt. So you need to learn, you need to upskill yourselves, and this is a constant thing. So I told you about human generator. So किसी ने सुना था इससे पहले human generator? मैंने भी नहीं सुना था. So I learned about how a human generator is created and how this tool works. And then I worked on telemetry. So यहाँ पे telemetry भी किसी ने सुना था, same for me also. So when you join some company, these things will keep happening कि कुछ ऐसा project आएगा जिसके आपको हवा भी नहीं होगी कि क्या करना है उसमें. और मेरे तीनों projects ऐसे थे. This Copilot was something जिसमें senior engineers को भी पता नहीं था. So usually if you work on some regular projects, so seniors will have a good understanding कि कैसे things work करती है. Around this LLMs, for everyone it was a new thing. मतलब ये launch हुआ, it started taking its space and all. So they were also learning with us. So this is a good learning. मतलब I saw कि at every stage you need to learn and upskill yourself. वहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं होगा कि after 10 years you will be knowing everything कि okay ये project है दे दो कर लेंगे, और इस तरीके से it will not work. तो आपको हमेशा अपस्किल करते रहना होगा, कोर्सेज लेते रहना होगा कि कैसे क्या करना है, कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट होगा. So we also took, so we all were taking, my manager was also taking this course from deeplearning.ai around prompt engineering, all I was all taking, and the other folk who was there, he was also working on this prompt engineering related stuff. So this is how you work on a project. So I was just sharing this because this is the pattern you will follow when you work in a company, that you will get some project, you will learn 10 things around that, then you will implement it, then you will improvise upon it. And currently also I'm working on that Copilot only, because now Copilot is like the next big thing already, ये सबको पता है. So according to media reports and some technical experts, so there was this .com वाला boom आया था, right? Around 2099, I think this was the phase. After this mobile thing came, तो बहुत बड़ा था. And now this AI thing is coming. And as per like market prediction and all these things, they're telling this AI thing is more bigger than that .com and the mobile thing actually. So you might have started noticing also कि जिस तरीके से you're interacting with current internet and all these things, everywhere you'll see this AI integration is there. So I think on LinkedIn also you might have seen, if you write a post, you will get that AI recommendations. Do you want to rewrite this post? And not sure. So we get to use Teams actually. So because Microsoft's का ही product है, तो वहाँ पे भी they have this AI integration. So जैसे आपने कुछ मैसेज टाइप किया, there will be option, do you want to rewrite this? So it's very helpful. So usually there's something called professional communication which is there. So professional communication is that आप जो नॉर्मल बोलोगे कि ये काम करना है, तो वहाँ पे उसे थोड़ा उसे काफ़ी अच्छे से रैप करोगे कि there is one task and there are 10 things you want to do, so would you like to do it? तो इस तरीके से you need to present those things. तो वहाँ पे you can select the text और वहाँ पे you can select the tone also. It should be professional or enthusiastic or casual, and it will rewrite it for you. So very interesting thing, मतलब it will be part of your day to day lives. Similarly meetings अभी तक Zoom जो आपने देखे थे, Zoom या Teams से you used to record. बाकी अब Teams में integration आया है, well you will be able to record that and the AI will generate a summary for you. And if you, there will be certain names which will be taken during meeting. So suppose someone tells ki okay, Tanay will work on this project and this task, so automatically that meeting will have a tag for Tanay. Tag means like on WhatsApp you do, right, like at the rate, and you will write someone's name. So on Teams also something similar is there, and that task will be assigned to Tanay. So this is how things are evolving actually. So your day to day working will change actually. So everywhere this integration is coming now, on Chrome or this normal search engine you might have seen, they have a Copilot button now. So Bing also have something called, like, they've integrated, not Bing actually, Chrome actually integrated some AI related search also, and Bing already have it. So this AI is a big thing, and I think by the time you will pass out of this course, so it will be a mainstream thing. So a bit it's a new thing and it's a buzz is there around it. So by the time you will pass out, this will be a mainstream thing, and people not be seeing it as a surprise, and it will be like people will assume ki you should know how to work with prompt engineering and all those things. So it's a good time to start building upon that and creating project using OpenAI, this LLM models and all the such things. So that is one thing. And again, this Copilot project was similar to my internship because यहाँ पे भी बहुत सारी uncertainties थी और ये सब था. And but I was, again, this project was completed successfully. It was launched and all, and I got promoted like last year. So, and this project was one of the major contributors in that. In like companies like this, your promotion is not based on number of years. Ki, okay, ek saal ho gaya, so you will get first promotion. 2 saal ho gaya, you will get some second promotion. It is completely based on the impact you create and the projects you work on. So I got to work on this telemetry related thing, Copilot related thing. So somehow things went well, and I was able to get promoted within 1 year actually. So this is another thing. Ki whenever you like join some internship or some company as a full time also, don't shy away from hard projects actually. Try to face them, try to work on them, because there'll be very few people who will be willing to work on such projects. And if you get to work on that, went well, if it goes well, so it will be a very good impact actually. So I related to like I read somewhere, so chase the rhinos actually. So if you are chasing rhinos, if you are able to hunt them, people will be, well, I'm not telling to hunt rhinos, but yeah, it's like people will tell you, okay, you hunted a rhino. Even if you are unsuccessful in hunting a rhino or chasing the rhino, people will say, ki, anyways, hunting a rhino is not something easy. So even if you will fail, there'll be a good support behind you. But if you're working on okay, chasing a dog, and if you fail in that also, people will say, ki, Arey, ye bhi nahi kar paya. Okay, so work on things which are difficult, which are tougher. So even if you fail, there'll be this good amount of learning which is there, and if you get to work on it and successful, like nothing like that. So yep, this is another thing. So I think that's all from my side. I'm open to any questions or something you want to ask.
And I wanted to ask that, like, as your first years now, what is, looking back in your journey, what is the one thing you wish you did as a first year, or we should do as a first year student to like prepare for that race further?
Yeah, I would say like even if I look back at through this lens, in my first year, what should I have done? I would say ki what I did in my first year was very good, and actually living in that moment and exploring the things which are coming in front of you, that is the thing you should do. So don't plan too much, because you never know what will come up. This AI disruption came up and people were not prepared. So learnings from, so in my first year I was part of like different clubs which are there in college. So I was in my dance team, in my debate and DDQ club. So we used to have a DDQ club, debate, dramatics and quiz club. So I was part of that. I was part of magazine board. So my first year was filled with all these things. So I used to code and all. Baki, that was a secondary thing in my first year. Okay. So for you, this is like already you have all these things, like coding as main part. So yeah, don't like fret too much about it. Ki kya karna hai, kaise karna hai. I would say, but yeah, have this understanding ki you want to do something. So there is a difference between living like कि casually जो चल रहा है वो चलने दो, कुछ करेंगे नहीं, but make some meaningful investment of your time कि कहीं पे कुछ part कर रहे हैं, रूम पे बैठ के, मतलब you'll not like binge watching some movies or something like that, because they'll not like add any value. मतलब you can part have that as a recreation activity, but just like don't waste your time in that. So do something meaningful, take part, make some projects, work on some hackathons, because you also don't know now, like you all are from 12th, like passed out of 12th, and right, like droppers or someone who dropped and joined it. Okay, yeah, but as such, after school you are coming to this place, right? And how many of you came here because like you wanted to join some tech company and actually tech was your interest? Okay, so okay, good number of you are here because of that. But like most of us don't know actually how this tech thing work और कैसे क्या काम रहेगा. So अभी हो सकती है हमारी liking है वो, but it may change actually eventually. So have, along with this, have some certain other explorations around you as well. कि this will make some good learnings out of that. So yeah, that will prepare you for race. Matlab, you are already having so many sessions. I'm not sure. Like I think you've already heard what I shared many times. I think every week you have certain sessions, right? Like so, like not sure what value I added, but yeah, try to take part in different things, and you will have like that preparation there.
So,
Yes.
so my name is Prem, and thank you for the insights that you gave. So what I wanted to ask was that when you said that when you apply for a job, okay, and like you get the job, right, but they expect you to do something that you don't know how to do, right? Like when you said that you were not familiar with TypeScript and stuff, right? But like what happens in some companies is that like if the company expects me to work in something, right, but it's not there on my resume, so they're just gonna simply reject me. So like how do I exert, or like how do I showcase it on my resume that I can adapt to stuff, like that I can learn new stuff?
Okay, so like there are certain companies. If you I take some example, companies which are there, though those who don't have this whiteboard coding interviews. By whiteboard, I mean they don't have DSA rounds. So upfront, they have this disclaimer there that we want you to be expert in web development. Okay, and if that thing is already out there, so then if you want to join that particular company, you should have projects around that on your resume. But with companies like Google, Microsoft, you are not sure in which team you will join. So there, if you have project in machine learning, data science, some web development, so there it works, because they want you to be a problem solver. But if you're joining some company which requires some specific tech skills, so you should be ready with that if you're joining or aiming that particular company. Okay. Yes.
So my question is,
Jitendra, like, can you? Yeah. Okay. Great.
how do you manage time in your college life where you're also doing how do you while learning React and TypeScript and .NET? So how you used to manage your college life and intern?
Okay, so during my internship, actually, during COVID time, it was there. So I was not physically present at my college campus. So there were no co-curricular activities. I was at home. And in fourth year, you don't have regular classes like till the time you get placed and all, because college is also aware that you are focusing on your interview preparations. So I was completely like dedicating my all the time like for internship only. But for you, if you have some specific thing you want to ask, like around normal time management, so that is a different thing. But for me, it was like not the case, like how to manage time, because there was internship was the only thing I was working on.
Good afternoon, sir. Myself, Roshni there. Sir, as you told, you belong from defense family. I too belong from defense family.
Right.
My first goal was, of course, to get into Army, Navy, or Air Force. But I was not able to clear the exam. So that's why I'm here doing engineering. And you told that after doing engineering, there are also high chances to get in defense. So what are the fields or where we can get through now? Like if I want to admit there after this 4 years, so like what are the fields where I can get?
Okay, so there are certain entries like in case of Air Force, there's something called APCAT, which is there, Air Force Common Admission Test. So that is common for both males and female, that entry is there. Apart from that, there is a tech entry in Army called SSC Tech, and there's a SSC Tech is there. So there the option is there for like females also to join Army, and that is for some 10-14 years. That commission is short commission is there. So that is one entry. In Navy also similarly there is a tech entry which is there. So Army or defense also require engineers. So there are various entries. If you just Google it, you will find like number of entries. And I think it will now you need not to check all those things because it will make sense when you are in fourth year, because after that only will you be able to apply. Yeah.
So as we are like we probably know that Microsoft has its HO in Seattle also as well, while US. So does if you work in Microsoft India, does it provide you on-site for going abroad and working?
Okay. Yeah. So that option is there, but you need to get, I think, 3 promotions in India first, and then you will get the opportunity to work, like go outside and work in Seattle or some other domain, because this visa had this requirement that you will be getting a visa because if you are having some specialized skills. So freshers as such, they consider that they will not have some specialized skills, so they will not provide you a visa. So you need to get like 2 or 3 promos first in India, and then you will get this on-site opportunity. But if you're externally applying and the company is ready to provide you visa, then that's a different case. But for internal transfer, you need to like get 3 promos first, and then we'll get this on-site opportunity. Yes.
Hello, sir. My name is Rahel. Sir, initially you have focused a lot on hackathons. How, and especially about your journey, it's pretty clear that hackathon had a good impact. Can you name some particular hackathons that, as a first years, we can try into?
So one like Smart India Hackathon is there, which is open like irrespective of how many year or things like that. Apart from that, many private companies, private players are there which conduct different hackathons. So you can, I just told you, you can note this website, Hacker Earth is there. Okay, so you will find some good number of active hackathons. Apart from that, like there are some other websites also. I'm not. Skillenza is there. So I think that is another website where you will find some hackathons. So Flipkart Grid Challenge is one thing I think which is there. I think it is there for third years, not for first years, because they want to hire interns out of that. But for first year, you'll find good number of hackathons. Like some private players are there, with tech companies are there which are conducting hackathons on regular basis. So in college, every college have different fest, and there also this hackathon is there. So if I talk about this AIT, my college, they are like next week they are having this hackathon called Inner. So I'm not sure if registration is still open, but that is again open for everyone, like irrespective of year, first year, second year.
Would you have any particular suggestion for that? Like any particular part, like hackathons also happen in different forte, right?
Mm-hmm.
So any particular forte that you would prefer a particular new person to explore?
Yeah, I would suggest kids. Anyways, it's exploration, so try to explore all the fortes. As such, no specific recommendation around that. You can try around hardware related things also. I mentioned IoT is one thing, and then app development, web development, ML, AI, all these things are there. So yeah, try to explore, and what like interests you and what you are liking, you can just go ahead in that.
One more question. Sorry. So my
Please ask question. Like
yeah.
you're saying sorry to me or your friends ki
Bit of
second
both.
question.
Both.
Yeah.
So back to you. What is your view on meetups? Having going to meetups, getting to know more people over there, and then getting connections for internships or personal benefits in one way.
Okay, so I have not personally attended any meetups because I told you when I entered my second year, this COVID started. So I have not been to any meetups and all. But yeah, like it will be difficult for me to comment on that, like how beneficial or fruitful it is. So yeah, maybe not the right person to answer this question. Yeah.
Hello, sir. My name is Sahil. So my question was, can you share a future project that you are working on and we will get to see soon?
I'm working on this Copilot only, and this is the future thing also. Like you will see, it's already launched. You will see some improvements and all. But yeah, you will not be able to see it currently. It's available in USA only. It's not available in India. But yeah, I'm currently working on that Copilot related things.
So I had a question related to ChatGPT. Like if you can answer that domain. As you've seen that ChatGPT more or less deprived upgrades has been launched because of the humanization is happening,
Mhm.
the human tools are taking. Do you think it's a declining phase of the generative AI model? Because most of the people like are also the experimental they're doing and trying to improve new stuff, but because of the human inputs, the declining phase of the LLM has started. So what would be the solution to this that companies like Fang or someone will be applying to this?
Okay, so I would not say like it's declining and all, because if you see their like GPT-4 is launched and all this, and they were higher in terms of whatever checks are already there for benchmarking an AI model. And this human inputs are not something that you will type 10 different things which are all nonsense and that will be directly fed to that LLM model. So there's a certain like checks which they do, and they have certain mechanism before putting that into model. And yeah, that's true that there were some reports ki AI started giving wrong answers or the quality of answer declined, but something which will keep evolving. Like it's not something that it will be a constant downflow only. Things will improve like with the time. So yeah, same with like chat GPT related models or the bard or other models. But yeah, they are including more and more parameters, and we'll get to see they're working towards this humanization of AI which you mentioned. So general intelligence, currently it's AI artificial intelligence, but they're working on this general intelligence. So we will see some good results there.
Sir, so my question was, can you describe the work environment at Microsoft?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, it largely depends on team. So I will not be able to say overall Microsoft how it operates and all. But yeah, there are certain common things which every team will inherit from the Microsoft culture. But in my team, it's mostly kind of startup related, like work intensities like that. We have every month launches there for our product and all. So it's quite similar to AI, like not AI, and not in general how startups work. There'll be frequent releases, good amount of development work and all. So there are certain teams where I mentioned, like for example, Office and all will not have that active development. वहाँ पे maintenance is the primary thing, but in my case or in my team, the active development is there, and work culture is, yeah, you'll have like good amount of work to do and all on day-to-day basis.
So my name is Sparsh. So my question is, as you mentioned that you get internship in Microsoft after winning the hackathon. So how we get internship into my hackathon? Sorry, in Microsoft.
Okay, so earlier this project competition was there, so I'm not sure still there or not. But usually they open their internships for third year, like they'll not hire from first or second years. So this internship application start usually for most of the companies when you are in third year. So yeah, I think that is the time you'll be able to apply for all the, like Microsoft or any other company.
Considering the leader that's Satya sir, and it's like seeing him evolve over the years, like after he has joined Microsoft and everything. What is different, like you see as a leader in him compared to others? Because his foresight is different compared to all companies.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you see that this hunger, or what is it in him that drives him to implementing so many things?
Okay, so yeah, internally also before Satya. So I'm not using Satya sir because there is part of culture. Everyone is referred with their name, so it's not like Satya is my friend or something. But yeah, we refer Satya as Satya. So Satya like actually changed a lot of things as at the cultural root level of the Microsoft as a company. One thing is the growth mindset, which was like I mentioned already. So this thing came, and there's so much of like human touch is there whenever you work in Microsoft. So you'll find people are very generous and they're very helpful and all. And Satya, like he is very like a great leader in terms of when to make an acquisition and how what will be the market future predictions will be there. So he's very good at like capturing those market sentiments and all, and what will be the future. So if you see, apart from this AI thing, they recently this took over Activision, also this gaming company which is there. So again, a big investment on LinkedIn is under also Microsoft. GitHub is also under Microsoft. So he is very good at like capturing the market sentiment and what will be the future. And I think there he is like winning it. And if you see other companies, they're struggling with coming up with something new. And one good thing with Microsoft is their revenue comes from multiple sources. So for Google, it's ad and search engine. This YouTube, I think this main thing. For Amazon, it is e-commerce and cloud. And so if one of these things goes down, and for Facebook, it's social media, like no other thing is there mostly. So if one of the things go down, so they are in a bad state. So if you already seen Facebook had a bad time, like their stocks are like all-time low and all, because their revenue was having a single source. But for Microsoft, it's around 30% kind of distribution is there mostly. So from cloud, I think 30% comes. Then this office products contribute to some 34%. All this numbers are there. So there also Microsoft is very well placed. Like even if something goes down, their profit is still in a good state. So and this is how like Satya actually expanded Microsoft portfolio. So in terms of LinkedIn, GitHub, now this gaming industry, and now this AI thing is also there. So yeah, and you can read his book actually, I think. His book is there, Hit Refresh. I think that is the name of his book. So yeah, I'll get to know more about it. And I think Satya is visiting India also on 9th Feb. So he'll be coming here to meet AI startups which are there in India to further progress Indian market in terms of AI and all. So yeah, if there's some open talk and all, you can attend that on online or something like that. Yeah.
So my question is, as you mentioned that you have worked in Microsoft. So my question lies on version control system. Like we have
Maybe allow them.
a version control system. So like what kind of version control system that Microsoft uses? Like we have GitLab. It is better for CI/CD setups, which is it has some pre-built CI/CD setups in it. So GitHub don't have like that. So what GitHub is owned by Microsoft. So what does your team uses in?
Okay, so we have two. We have like the repos on which I work. There are two different version control related things. One is Git is there, like for sure. One of the repos lies on GitHub, and another is this Azure DevOps which is there. So if this Azure itself is like provides all this development related tools and all. So they also provide this CI/CD pipeline and DevOps is there. So most of the products which Microsoft have like rely on this Azure DevOps for their like versioning management system and all. And every company have this different kind of version management, but for Microsoft it's Azure DevOps.
What is your biggest challenges you are getting in your
In
workload?
workload.
Biggest challenges.
Okay, like as I already mentioned, like my internship project was also something at that time I was not liking and all this co-pilot related thing also. So like that formula is there that no pain, no gain is there. So you need to put your hard work and all. If something challenging is there, so definitely the reward will be higher. So it's your choice. You want to take that challenge, take that pain, and want to work on that result. So I would not say it's like challenge or something. It's actually fun. You get to work on things which are beyond your comfort zone. But yeah, like those are the challenges. Like I would say, sometimes for me also this time management is something becomes difficult if you are working for that long. So creating, giving time to your health and all, your family and other things which are there in life. So these are some things which I'm learning because for me also, like it's around 1.5 years which I completed in Microsoft and all. So like what to prioritize at what time, all these things are there which I'm still learning. So yeah, I would say those are challenges which I'm currently learning or dealing with.